That's the picture.
What's she word number? 30 something?
He does this one too.
It's okay. Let's just continue. Sharei Kedusha, Chelek Gimel, Shar Aleph, we're at the end.
What is it? Ayin Zayin?
Yeah. We're at the bottom of Ayin Zayin. Tnu Oz LeElokim.
What page, Rabbi?
70. Huh? Oh, Vehine. Okay. Yeah, Vehine.
Shiur 37.
37. Oh, Gematria Hevel. Also Gematria Bichia. Vehine Nidbaer.
Yes.
So we learn, Ki kol ha'olamot nichlalin b'havaya. All the worlds are included in Yud K and Vav K. Hanechleket la'arba yesodot or le'esher sefirot, that is broken down into 4 elements and to 10 sefirot. וכמו כן, כל עולם מהם נפרד על דרך זה, every single one of those 10 sefirot and 4 elements could itself be broken down into 10 sefirot, into 4 elements. כיצד? הנה עולם האצילות, behold, the world of Atzilut, hu ot Yud is the letter Yud, hanikra Chokhmah, it's also called the world of Chokhmah. So remember, Chokhmah is synonymous with Atzilut. Chokhmah is Atzilut, it's also the letter Yud. Remember, Yud Chokhmah Atzilut. Yud Chokhmah Atzilut. Yes.
Same thing. Equals the same thing.
So, v'hu nechlak lechol habechinot hanizkarot. So, this Chokhmah Atzilut is itself 4 elements and 10 sefirot. It has its own 4 elements and 10 sefirot. V'yesh bo havaya achat shlema. It has its own Yud Kei Vav Kei. Even though it itself, in general, is the Yud, but this Yud has its own Yud Kei Vav Kei. שנחלק לארבע יסודות ו10 ספירות גמורות על דרך הנזכר בכל כל עולמות ממש. Turning the page. ועל דרך זה ובכל עולם 5 עולמות נזכרים. And this way, so too in the Hey, in the Vav, and in the Hey. Each one is broken down into its own 4 elements and 10 ספירות. ועל דרך זה עוד הולך ונפרט העניין בתכלית הפרטות עד שנמצא כי אפילו בזה עולם השפל אין לך בראייה קלה שאין בכללות 4 האותיות ההוויה או כללות 10 ספירות. It's broken down to such a point that even the smallest being in this world has its own 10 sefirot and 4 elements.
We're talking about us, the individual? Or
We're big creations. I'm talking about even a fly.
Well, anything living, I guess.
Anything that's living has its own 4 elements and 10 sefirot.
Would you say that about a molecule or atom?
Even a molecule has its own 4 elements and 10 sefirot.
What's the...
That's its existence.
Just I guess the molecular, the composition you could say?
You are just a molecule compared to Olam HaAtzi,
Right.
compared to Olam HaYetzirah.
Right.
And still you have 10 sefirot and 4 elements. So too, anything that you could comprehend has 4 elements and 10 sefirot. Everything.
It just became...
Everything we say in Kabbalah is positive and negative together. Nothing can live without positive and negative together, and that's the secret to the first mitzvah in the Torah, get married. Not Pruruvu, get married.
The opposites.
That's the whole point. That you have to be the coexistent, that's the true existence. When 2 opposites can coexist, it's a proof of the Ein Sof Baruch Hu. עוד הקדמה, next paragraph, והיא כי כל אלה הבחינה עמד לדרגות מרום עד תהום שונה ושווה, from Ak till the lowest part in this world. כולם הם זו למעלה מזו וזו לפנים מזו. Remember ההקדמה, this is a very important introduction. Every world is on top of the world above it.
We've learned that.
You are a clothing to the world above you. You ever wonder how come a kid's Kaddish works for his parents? Because technically speaking, you still are your parent. You're a clothing of your parent, and they're of their parents, and them and their parents, and them and their parents. Until Ak. Huh?
You say clothing, you mean an extension?
An extension, but even though it might not seem physical, but the truth is it is. It is physical. Because when they put their tippah, Their tipa is them. You are their tipa.
You're half genetically half your parent.
You're their tipa. Their tipa is your tzelem.
More than an exception.
So therefore, when you say Kaddish,
But you're part of them.
it's as if they're saying Kaddish.
That's what's
For
important
themselves?
to leave
That's why,
behind.
exactly. That's why you have to have. That's why the whole point of Judaism is Pru or Vu.
It's not just proof, but it's keep them in Derech Hashem, because you could have them and they're living like
Derech Hashem is very. That's the whole point. Laman asher yitzav et banav, God said to Abraham. כי העליון מחברו מתלבש תוך התחתון ממנו כנשמה לגוף. The upper world clothes itself in the lower world, like a soul in a body. אמנם אין כל כללות העליון מתלבש בתחתון, רק בגלל פרטית תחתונה, this is the secret. שבעליון מתלבש כל תחתון. What part of the upper world is the clothing of the lower world, Gabriel?
The lowest part.
Only the lowest part of the lower world.
Right.
Of the upper world.
Oh, no. I mean,
That's the highest.
Malchut, I'm sorry, Malchut, right?
The Malchut
Exactly.
Is the Chokhmah.
The Malchut is the Keter.
The Keter of the world below it.
Yeah.
Or you could say the Nahi, the Netzach Hod Yesod, is the Neshama of the world below it. You could also say that. The Nahi, the Netzach Hod Yesod. We use that a lot in Kabbalah. Tavi, what's the secret of that? We say that blessing every single day. When you wear your shoes, what blessing do we say for wearing your shoes?
Turkey.
Sha'a sali kol tzorki. What's the secret of shoes? The Gemara says sell everything. Shoes is first.
So you keep it shut.
Because the shoes is the.
Just like your Netzach Hod Yesod goes inside the shoe, so too every world is just a shoe to the world below it. Understand? On Tisha B'Av, when we have no Beit HaMikdash, we don't say Sha'a sali kol tzorki. The Ovadia says do say.
One second, why shoes dafka tzorki זה הכל, אבל כל הצורך צרכים.
Why is it lechol tzorki? Why is the shoes lechol tzorki? We just explained. Because what is your tzorech? The world above you. And how does he come inside of you? As a shoe. Lo evanta.
Aren't you the shoe if it's coming in?
You're the shoe. You're the
Can
shoe.
you elaborate a little bit or no?
You are, inside of you is only the lowest part of your parents.
Okay. And the shoe is the lowest part.
And you are the shoe.
I am my own shoe.
You are the shoe of your parents.
You're klavei your parent.
Yeah, got it. That's what shoe.
That's why the Chachamim said if we are angels, if we are men, they were angels. If they are, no, there's, what's this, how's it go?
If we are men, they are angels.
The angels.
If they were men, we are donkeys.
If they were men, we were donkeys. I thought the monkeys, no?
The animals.
I prefer monkeys.
Monkeys, not donkeys.
No, that's what you always talk about.
Yeah.
Do you understand the difference?
Yeah.
Even if your father is lo shomer Shabbat, beklum, you're still only a fraction of his power. Wow, that's crazy. That gives a different translation to Kibud Avaim.
Forget about that. It tells you also each generation. was
Bidiuk.
They're all
So even if you're much smarter than your dad or everything, still you're only a fraction of what his generation was.
and those so forth and so forth for the generation of
Imagine you and Moshe. So what's Mashiach? Mashiach is the 360. It's when we restart. You get it? Why? Because he's Yechidah. Yechidah is really Nefesh. Malchut is really Keter. It's just two parts of the opposite end. You understand? That's what he's meant to do. Mashiach's job is to get us back to the Yechidah. If we could do that, then we really comprehended the whole story. Not a fraction of the story. You understand? Torah itself is Chaya. It's the Chokhmah. What's Yechidah? It's the total understanding that you're not really here.
Matrix.
That the Ein Sof never really changed. Everything is just an illusion. I mean, you're just Everything is just God. You think you're your own mind. You think you're this. You think it. So, but you say, well, I'm myself.
It's
Like,
like Google Earth. Go up, 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 up. You're gonna go zoom out. You're like.
you think you're your own person, but you're not.
It's like zooming in.
Why is that dangerous to a person who didn't? How come that's dangerous to a person who didn't pass the 4 levels of Pardes? Because if he will get to that level, he'll be like, so I should do nothing. But he doesn't understand. But you have that's the whole point, that he does want you to feel like you are you. He does want you to feel that. That's the oxymoron, the paradox over here.
And that's the 2 extremes of Gadlut Adam and Shiflut Adam. These are 2 extremes. If you think you're someone, then you have a job here. If you think you're no one, then what are you doing here?
No, you just sit and say if that's what if my understanding is all God, then God 100%. But
And at the end of the day, yeah, he does. That's the secret. But at the end of the day, he also doesn't want. How does he do that? That's God. That's
You
Hashem.
can't just sit and say, okay, I can't.
You can't do anything. That's why God gave us such a specific set of order.
Very deep stuff.
This is not for everyone.
Yeah, right?
That's when you start flying.
You have to be able to want something greater in your life. But the first step obviously starts with
comprehension and self-awareness.
how does a person be closer to God?
That's on, bro.
That's already a problem.
That's
You are
all.
close to him.
Bro.
How does you start to be like him? Before you're close. Only when you're in a state where you are in a complete restriction. When is that?
When you should remember it's
No? When you're married. Before, an animal can also do pruvu.
That definition means pruvu means to join as one.
Yeah, but you can do it without
you
marriage.
can do that also without marriage.
You were close.
Girl.
I just wanted to hear the words of marriage.
That's the first step.
Submission, submission, my friend, submission.
Got it. Submission. Exactly.
Only in marriage could a person be him and not him.
So,
Only in marriage.
Finally, back.
You're you, but you
Yeah, no,
have
lucky.
no...
Lucky.
Say.
Marriage lucky.
I'm you, I'm me.
But I'm not joking with you. It's the truth.
you're you without a say. That's what she says.
No, but that-
Why do you do it though? Why do you get married?
Hashem said so.
Wrong.
You want to be complete because you're not complete.
You want to be married.
Yeah.
It's an inner drive. Even if we didn't have any desire to be with women, we would still get married.
Just to get married.
Because you need companionship.
Now you understand the klipa of the goyim in our
Звони
generation.
девочке сегодня же. Скажи, I'm getting married. Все.
The klipa wants you to believe you could have companionship even without that. But Hashem says no. To be like me, I have to be with the opposite of you. The complete opposite. The Bach is its first in Ibn Ezer. It's the first Bach. The Bach says it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Why do we do it then?
Because you want to do
God doesn't make sense either for us.
it.
But if you want, yeah, he does.
Shabbat makes sense.
Hey, don't be some now.
Don't be right now, David Amelech.
Alright, it doesn't make sense.
How Shabbat makes sense?
Thank
Yeah,
Yosef.
it doesn't make sense.
So have
Don't be funny.
have a day off on Sunday, man. Why so?
Shabbat is the Sunday.
I heard in some countries they have 2 days off a week, Tuesday and Sunday.
Should make a petition for that.
I heard like this.
Barbers have a Sunday, Monday.
Sunday,
in
Monday.
America.
See?
The barbers have Sunday,
Something
Monday.
they left from the
Italians.
Italians, something.
Yeah,
Not
Sunday,
something,
Monday.
Italians.
No, but nothing. No, Ein Sof is the Ein Sof. We cannot comprehend the Ein Sof. Mashiach will bring us a step closer to the Ein Sof.
It's like you trying to understand your father is telling you you're not allowed to go out tonight. You're like, yo, he's the worst thing in the world.
And you cannot understand your father.
Right.
Imagine you understanding God.
No, but not all the stuff you do is because you want to do it, but because you have to do it also.
You have to do it.
Yeah, but you come to a point that you do it, מה, אז כמו אהבה ויראה, אתה בא למי...
I tell you, even the guy, בוא נגיד, the guy who does שטויות,
Okay.
even he has to do what he is doing.
What do you need to do this?
You ever saw a guy that loves money so much, like he works like a dog?
Yeah.
He's set for life. Why continue working? That's exactly the point. Like he has that. You don't understand the guy. The guy's sick. He has that drive. Oh, more. Habibi, calm down. What happened? That's what we have to get to.
Imagine you would serve God like that.
They would think you're crazy.
That's the level. And you know
People
why
think
we
Tzaddikim
get
are
married?
crazy.
Come
That's
down to
called
this world
Avraham Avinu.
to get to the
That's
stage
Avraham
of
Avinu.
serving the Shabbat. 'Cause
But you
can't
cannot get
submit your
there
mind, you can't submit your right,
unless
submit
you
your gift,
pass
you'll
the
never
normal
submit
stages
God.
first.
Ever. Zero.
That's the secret. You understand? Until you don't do Kiddushin, Purvus, you're not gonna get to that. You're not gonna get there. If you wanna jump, it's fake. Hashem says. How do we know? From the secret of the mitzvot written in the Torah. That's the order Hashem gives us. And only at the end Hashem says, write yourself a Sefer Torah.
That's the last mitzvah.
That's the last mitzvah. Kitvu lachem et hashira azot.
You would think that would be like the fifth or tenth.
You see, we have to yearn for Mashiach. We have to yearn for Olam Haba. It's very nice. But if we not gonna yearn for ourselves now and think of being metaken ourselves now, you're gonna come back.
It's more than I think that yearning, the purpose of that yearning, that end game
No.
is to be that submission
No.
to God.
So they can come.
You're wrong.
Big people.
Even Mashiach come now, what?
But before you come back, you're gonna go
God
through
be
something.
there,
We'll bring so many
no.
stories that people do come back.
Gabriel,
For the
Whatever.
if you're gonna come back, you're gonna come back worse than what you are now.
Why can't you just say
Because the part that you fix stays up.
Toca mucho por favor.
Why do you think this generation is so messed up? Because what's left of this generation? Only the leftovers. That's why we have to love them so much, keep them like this. And that's why we have to appreciate the chachamim of this generation. Imagine what they were. So if you're gonna come back, what are you gonna come back as already?
Tattoo. Earrings.
I think tattoo is just a laugh. A barber on his good day, does one tattoo. Understand? On a nice day, he could do thousands of tattoos. One does razor. One tattoo is how many razors?
Every time. Beep, 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 beep. No?
One.
So it's needle.
It's every time it goes in.
You want to be more machmir? I like it. Be machmir ad hasof. Be stringent till the end. Give them gehenom. Nice. I'm here being lenient. You want to be machmir? Go ahead. No, you're only chayav when you make a srita and you fill it with ink. You understand?
Who gets the punishment? The guy?
The guy who's doing
it.
it. The guy who's giving it. The guy who's giving it.
So if I wanted to do, let's say, who's getting the sin?
Are you gonna stay still in your chair and not move?
Of course, otherwise he's not gonna come out with
So you
it.
get
No,
it
he's
out.
asking a question. Like, say he wants to tattoo
He's
his
gonna-
head,
Yeah.
let's say
like hair, fake hair. There is such a thing now.
Yeah, I know.
Can he do that? Is
I
that
wasn't
considered?
thinking
Is that a
thinking that, but yeah, that. No.
tattoo? Is that a tattoo?
I had
A tattoo?
before
Is that a
I
tattoo?
had a serious taba to do tattoo. A serious taba. I didn't believe in God. Went away.
Mama Schnitzel.
What were you gonna tattoo? A schnitzel?
No, a chicken like this.
My logo right here. No, I'm joking. No, before this.
If you give your mom a schnitzel, yeah.
No, I don't סתם, מגן דוד, שטויות.
No, I got it. תפסיק את זה מהראש שלך.
לא.
תוציא. No tattoo, no that.
Is all these Israeli people in Israel, it's very big מחלה, but everybody's doing it. Who's, I know they're gonna pay for it, but they pay for it every time? Because you have
No,
it?
you're-
Or it's
when-
a one-time thing?
דקה.
Then he goes.
We're not teaching right now הלכות כתובת קעקע.
Okay, so-
But once you already asked in one sentence, the guy who's giving that tattoo,
I know he's over.
he's going over עשה ולא תעשה. The guy who's getting the tattoo is going over an עשה only.
And it's
An
a
עשה.
constant thing.
עשה, you don't get malchut.
That's
One
it.
time.
Torah
One
says
time.
don't do
How
it.
would you
Right.
feel?
So you're being over.
Once
There's
it's
a-
on
no,
your body,
but
it's on your
when-
body.
Sometimes the lo ta'aseh
That's the bottom.
leads to an aseh.
It's the process.
Sin is when actually
Can you
it
give an
doesn't.
example?
Like I say, don't do anything. The fact I told you not to do it, that means if you do something against that, I'm doing an aseh. Aseh haba mikla lo ta'aseh. It's called. So a person who gets the tattoo, he's going over an aseh. He doesn't get malkut. Because it's a lav she'en bo ma. He's not doing any ma'aseh. He's just to get malkut. You have to do something.
So if you're doing the tattoo to yourself, then
That's for sure. That's for sure. But the guy who's giving the tattoo, he gets the malchus because he's doing the maaseh. A goy is a goy. The guy who's just sitting over there, he's going over an avera of getting the tattoo,
Remember I said you
but he doesn't get malkut. Only if he doesn't help the guy do for him the tattoo. The guy says, "Move your hands this, do that." No, he's already doing a maaseh. Okay, let's finish the paragraph. So every world above you, Michael, is clothes itself in the world beneath. ואמנם, לא כל העליון מתלבש בתחתון, רק מבחינה פרטית תחתונה שבינינו, as we said, only the nahi or the מלכות. באופן שכל העולמות הן כולן בכללות. הם בכל בחינה מהם אפילו בעולם שווה כל מהם כל הוא בדרך זה. He says this is the way every world, the general world, the macro and the micro. כי זה העליון מזה וזה פנים מזה. Everything fills the other one. עד שכולן הן כעניין לבושים זה לזה, וכולן לבושים אל האינסוף ונשמה לכל נשמות. So what do we see? That every world is the neshama, every world above is the neshama to the world below. And every neshama right now will be the neshama, every goof will be the neshama of the world. It means a goof on top is the neshama below. The goof on top is the neshama below. Okay?
So it's like a cup that's pouring and a cup that's grabbing. Each one that's pouring is grabbing.
But that the cup below, above, doesn't lose only the nahi. It's only the malchut or the netzach hod yesod goes into the world below it. Okay? And it has to be like that because if we would come back always the same, the world would never end. There would be never a tikkun to this world. Right?
So if you were to play all this out, it would complete? Because it doesn't seem like it's going to complete according to the way you're describing it.
It's gonna complete.
Where does that completion, like where?
When the
If it keeps
malchut.
continuing, like you're saying, it continues, it seems.
No, there is an end because when the malchut, at one point, a person gets to a gilgul where he only has the minimal of the minimal to do. Understand?
That's usually a situation where the boy maybe is born to get a brit milah and dies. How
No,
much more minimal
Right.
can you get? Or
So
to
ho-
drink milk from a
that's
person who-
that's the meaning of the pasuk. V'lo yidach mimenu nidach. Hashem never leads the nitzotz alone. At the end of the day, it's Hashem that's leading you to your situations, to your scenarios, to the people that you meet. True, you have a free will to do whatever you want. And even that itself is just another layer of illusion. That's very deep. It's called Atika Kadisha that we cannot comprehend.
If it's a layer illusion, why we have to be patient?
That's exactly the reason why I'm not allowed to say that to some people.
What did he say in here?
Because you, right now,
It's a layer illusion, why we have to pay so much after we did wrong? That's my...
you're not paying.
Who has to pay?
That's the secret. That even what you're getting is whatever you need to get to reveal Hashem. You are nothing, but you are the everything. To comprehend that is to ask what is the infinite himself. Now, but at the same time, if I would ask you right now to do an avera or not, you'd say, "Oh yeah, if I want to do it, I'll do it. If I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it." I once went to a shiur by a rabbi of South Africa. I forgot what his name is. You know what I'm talking about? He's a big psychologist and he's a big rabbi of South Africa.
Tversky?
No, Thorsky, not Thorsky. I forgot his name. He's a very big lecturer in the world. He's a world renowned. He said, even a woman has a sickness that she has to steal. There's a sickness like this. Everywhere they go, they have to steal. But the second they put their hands into the
Cookie jar.
take it out, she still has a choice. You miss what I'm about to
Even
say.
though it's programmed in her, she still has a choice to take it out or not take it out.
Yeah.
The cookie from the
It's
cookie
still your
jar.
choice. That's why
You
she.
think that an addict still has a choice?
Yes. He still has a choice.
Not for one.
Everyone has a choice.
Because if I could put $1 million in front of you, like that,
I'll tell you the truth. Listen, as a ex-cigarette smoker, when I was looking at the research, they say smoking cigarettes is as addicting as heroin. But heroin smokers, they're dead. They destroy their life. But yet you see hundreds of thousands of people, they quit smoking.
Right.
How do they do it? And you know what this research shows? Zer levatala is as addicting as heroin. How do people stop 6, 7, 8 years? You have a choice. You do. Everyone has a choice. At the end of the day, even the biggest addict.
In anything.
But the world makes you believe that you don't have a choice. You're an addict. You have to watch the next show. You ever see a woman watching TV shows?
That's
My God, it's like gay, you know. It's like,
wow.
wow. Huh?
He's not talking like, he's talking about addiction.
Yeah, okay.
No, it's
But there's levels to this.
no, yeah, that's true. There are people that get more in life. You see people that are very addictive personalities and people that are not. Okay, but still, it's addicting.
Anything that gives instant pleasure will become addictive.
You can't
Shopping
compare
is like
TV
But
shows
there are
and
some
like
things
that,
that are
right.
such instant pleasure
Right.
that it's like, wow, boom, it's a pleasure, right?
Right.
You smoke a cigarette, boom, you have that pleasure.
compare
That
a
moment.
cigarette to a show.
Zara, boom. Show is very
To
addictive.
some people. To some
No,
people
but
it is.
cigarettes like your body needs it.
No, it doesn't.
It's like you're feeling for it. The show, you're not
You're
feeling
not.
for it.
No,
You
you
don't
are,
get
you
shakes
are,
for not
yeah.
watching a show.
There are people who do that. They go, yeah. Why?
That's-
How about kids who play 8 hours a day and 10 hours a day video games?
That's stupid. That's crazy. That's stupid. That's parents' fault.
But there are
Right
kids
now.
like that. Parents, no, you're wrong. It's not the parents' fault.
It's not. Whose fault is it if their kids, whatever you know?
I'm letting you know there's free will at the end of the day.
For kids too?
Dude,
Everyone.
it's the society and it's the TV and it's his free will. That's it. Free will.
Sus.
126.
But can you really say it's free will when you're placed in a position to do all the wrong choices? Like you have two neshamot, one goes in the house of tzaddikim, one goes in the area of Rishayim, and they expect that the area of Rishayim should come out of tzaddik.
That
It's
person,
so against him.
that
we have
per-
people that need it.
that's exactly your ability.
You're
That's
fully
exactly
supposed
your ability. You understand? Let's finish the paragraph. אמנם, בכל עולם אלו החמישה יש הבדל בהתפשטות האור. What's the difference in every olam? How far the ore goes down.
So the lower you are, the ore stays higher?
The lower you are, the more revealment that there is of ore.
More physical.
Yes.
to- Lower you are in what sense?
Lower word.
עד היכן מגיעים הפרש בין זה לזה, וכן יש הפרש אחר בפרטי ארבע יסודות בכל עולם, וכן בפרטי הפרטות, וכן זה מקום ביאור לעניין זה. We'll continue next week. בעזרת השם יתברך, page ע"ח at the bottom, last paragraph ונמצא. What is the difference between the התפשטות of, let's say, Keter and Chokhmah, between Za inside the Nog?
Wow.